Hey everyone, it's Magali, and today I'm going to show you how to make some keto-friendly cheese shells in place of regular flour tortilla taco shells. So you're going to need a nice bowl. I like to use the Mexican blend shredded cheese and the mozzarella shredded cheese. And all I do is mix it into the bowl together. It is about equivalent to one of the full bags of cheese. So if you were to make one full bag of cheese, this is what you're going to get. Unless you're just using it individually, you could just scoop out a handful and make shells individually. So now this is nice and mixed up. You can also add any spices or anything you want. I just kept this plain for myself. And here is my baking sheet with my parchment paper. And I'm just going to take a handful and make a nice round shape. And I like to pack in the sides so there's no, I guess, like loose ends. So I'm just squishing it all in. And that's how you would make a cheese shell. But I had decided to go all out and spread my cheese mixture throughout the entire baking pan. And I'm trying to flatten it out as best as I can and spread it out as evenly as possible and make sure the sides stay nice and packed in. And I have to say that if you've never done this before, had a taco with a cheese shell instead of your typical tortilla shell, oh boy. I really, even before I was doing low carb, I don't know what I was waiting for, not doing it sooner. They are outrageous. I highly recommend them. So I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees, and this does not take long at all. This is such a fantastic alternative to flour tortilla shells, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people agree with me. So here is my mixture. It is nice and flat. It's just cheese. You could sprinkle Parmesan cheese. You could sprinkle any spices. I just kept it cheese. So here it's in the oven. I am going to set my timer for 5 minutes. And you just want to keep an eye on it. It's at 350 degrees. I set the timer for 5 minutes. You don't want to have it in very long at all. It does not take much time at all. See, it's starting to congeal. I put it in for another 2 minutes, and then you could see like it'll bubble, and sometimes it'll crisp around the edges. Which if you that's what you're into, that's fine too. I've decided this is good enough. It's nice and melted, and you can see it's starting to brown on the edge. And I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to let it cool. And it cools very quickly. And here I'm going to show you how you could just peel it right away, right away, yeah. Peel it away from the parchment paper with no problems at all. That's what your shell is essentially going to look like. So you have one massive shell. Decided to cut it into fours. So here's where if you had just done the round circles, I don't even know if I would have gotten four nice sizes to the sheet in a round shape. So I decided to make one flat one, and I cut it into fours for the dinner that I was going to make. And you can see you can peel it right up. It is no issue at all. It is oily, so I like to set it out on paper towels to have the paper towel absorb some of the oil because it is quite, you'll see it's quite oily. So just dab it with the paper towel to help absorb the excess oil. And here you see I have some mixture that I'm going to be adding in. You can add whatever you want, chopped meat or what have you, lettuce, chopped tomato, but I have made going to be making fajitas with this, so you can see I have some shredded chicken and peppers and onions that I'm going to be adding to my cheese shell. And there you have it. You could just eat it just like that, dollop of whipped cream, and you're good. So make sure you hit that subscribe button.